David, to a large extent, we went from being in a state of play where all the work was being done normally to lockdown, almost like going from fifth gear to the engine stalled. How was that for you in terms of leading your team and how you directed them?
Luckily for me, when this happened, I was doing a bike packing route solo around the Lake District, the Lakeland 200, a bit extreme, but quite good fun. And I knew things were happening. So I was basically in a tent near Coniston somewhere. My wife says, right, you need to get back to the Isle of Man tomorrow, otherwise you have to go into quarantine. Can you do it? I said, actually, yeah, if I jump on the bike now, I can get back to the boat. They said, actually, the boat's full, so there's no point. So I carried on doing what I was doing, arrived back a week later. So while that was going on, all the office was all sorting that out. So I actually missed all of that. So I arrived back in the Isle of Man on the Saturday. On Friday, when everybody's working from home, I was at home in quarantine anyway, so nothing actually changed. So but the plus point of that is we've been a really resilient team in the office, and we used to change. Change happens all the time, and we just rolled with it. And things like getting the Microsoft Teams up and running, we've been chasing that. Well, I've been chasing personally with the IT department for about a year now. Suddenly that was online within 2 days. Brilliant. So out of a pandemic came something I've been chasing for a long time. So to go back to your question, leading it was actually, it already started, and I was basically parachuted in when everybody was already working at home. I'm very people-centered, so I set up a Teams meeting 9:30 every morning with all my team, and that continues. And as we go forward into someone's working in the office, some working at home, that's going to continue as well. So that's embraced technology. So that was my key point to keep everybody involved with the whole process. Because we knew nobody knew what was going on. Nobody knew, was it 1 week, 2 weeks, was it a month? But it just kept everybody involved. We knew everybody else was going. And it's because don't forget my surveyors, my 10 surveyors, normally I spend half of them probably traveling around the world at any one time. So suddenly they're stuck in the Isle of Man. So I had to find the projects to do. But keeping that daily dialogue with them kept it going. And it's doing well, actually, to be honest, really. And we're actually so much so we're pushing forward where we've got 30 staff in the office. We're looking at the future of an office with maybe 15 seats in, because people are traveling or they work from home. Now we're working on how managing that. And I know the terrible phrase is bring them on a journey, but that's we're all on this journey together, much as I hate using that phrase. And yeah, people are important. People are your big asset, and that's what I believe in. Does that answer the question?
Yeah, it does. And in fact, I was going to pick up on something that you've mentioned there, that no one would have chosen this, but quite often in the past, we've talked about better ways of working, and we've probably all attended seminars and meetings about, how can we do this better? We wouldn't have chosen it this way, but do you think in some ways it's been good for us to have been forced into looking at these different ways of working?
I personally think it's brilliant. I've been looking at it for a while, to be honest. Really, I'm looking at smarter ways of working. Just going into the office 5 days a week. Really, is that really a fit for purpose? I've been doing it for the last 100 years. Doesn't make it necessarily right. Let's also, the 5 whys, isn't it? Why are we doing this? What is that we're doing it for? But this has really pushed it forward. So this has really played into my hands, so to speak. Really, we've now got the excuse to actually push it forward, but not for the sake of pushing it forward. It's actually to make it work for everybody, and all the way through this, we make sure the guys are happy, and the gals as well. Are they happy with what we're doing? Any thoughts add to it at all? So yeah, so I think that's is in a whole new world. We've embraced it, and I think being pushed into it, something that was going to happen at some point. And I think talking to my friends and colleagues, they're all going, "This is really good." This, I says, yeah. So it's given everybody a real push.